guys out of the way before the shenanigans began. I'm new at comedy. I'm a comedy instructor though, but I had to fire him. Yeah, I found out he's racist. Even here in San Francisco, I know. He's white, and he hates himself.
Oh, good.
But he taught me some useful things before I left the class, before I sprout my wings. He taught me this technique. It's called an inoculation, kind of like a vaccination, where you get up on stage and you just bomb your set from the entire audience and make it as awkward as possible. I'm like, I hear what you're preaching, Sensei, Grand Wizard. You want me to go off and fight club myself? And like, I'm going to turn this into a homework assignment. I'm going to go to the middle of Berkeley and talk about politics as a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you guys, okay. I thought I was going to get some boos. I'm a little disappointed, quite frankly. Thank you. All right, that's all I wanted. I wanted some audience participation, for God's sakes. I don't know about practice. But, yeah, let's talk about your guys' politics.
Yeah, let's do it.
I saw you guys have a Gaza poster behind the bar. Let's talk about that. Now that you guys are finally standing up, for something, you liberals. Fox News is just yelling at you over the airwaves. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you stand up for these defenseless babies that we're just airdropping bombs to on a daily basis? How dare you? I'll have you know that that is anti-Semitic, yeah.
Nobody's having fun.
You're all bigots. And then me as a white male Trump supporter in his prime, I'm just wedging myself into the conversation going like, yeah, take that liberals, how do you like that, huh? How dare you? How dare you? What are you going to say next, huh? That the Jews shouldn't be allowed to control the weather and use their space lasers whenever they want to, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, God bless.
All right, you guys tolerated that surprisingly well. Let's do a history lesson. I love history. I know this guy called Charles XII of Sweden. He was the king of Sweden. And one day his brother-in-law was getting married to his sister. And so he pulls his brother-in-law aside at the party and goes like, hey man, let's ditch these ladies and let's like go do some guy stuff. So they head off into the wilderness together. And they fuck. Okay, they don't do that. But they capture this black bear. And they drag this black bear along back to the castle. And then they transport it up into the top tower of the castle. And they're just staring at this black bear going like, well, clearly this was so much fun, but how do we get the party really started? And they're like, I know how. Let's get blackout drunk. So they get hammered. And then at some point in the night, they're just staring at this poor bear going like, well, clearly not everybody's enjoying this party yet. So they wander over to the bear and they just start pouring beer down the guzzle of the bear's throat and they get him hammered. And they're like, well, clearly that was such a great idea, but how do we make this party even more wild? And they're like, I know how. So they open the door to the bear's cage and they let the bear join the party. So the bear just wanders out, confused, tired, and afraid, just going like, these strangers, they took me from my home. They forced me to consume these magical substances. What are they going to do next? Rape me? And so Stacy here, the black bear, makes a beeline towards the only opening she can see, a window. And the next thing you know, there's just a bunch of Swedish peasants just staring towards the heavens, watching this black bear meteorite rain down upon them. And so they decide to sue the king. And they say, hey man, that shit was wild. Like, I don't know what you need to do, like maybe go off and start a war or something.
Maybe read a fucking book.
Maybe start a podcast. I don't know. Maybe go help out RFK Jr. I've been hearing he's been having a lot of bear problems. He could use a man of your talents, Your Highness. All right, thanks, guys. Give it up for your host, Johnny.